But I don't think we can rule out that Trump is stupid. I don't think we can rule out that he's just doing it because he doesn't want to admit that he's wrong about what a tariff is. This was wild. Spencer Cox, who is kind of you know how sometimes they say that like if both sides hate you, you're probably doing it right. I do think Spencer Cox kind of epitomizes that. He's the governor of Utah. And when I was thinking about it, I was like, Spencer Cox he does things I hate and he does things I like. And then the more I think about it, I'm like, all right, yeah, that's probably a sign that he's like doing better than most governors, especially in a red state. The very fact that people are upset with him, like Republicans get upset with him, tells me he's willing to not, or at least sometimes to stand up to things. This is Avik Roy. Somebody was talking about this morning, quoting David Kelly from JP Morgan, saying the trouble with tariffs, to be succinct, and these are just small problems, is that they raise prices, slow economic growth, cut profits, increase unemployment, worsen inequality, diminish productivity, and increase global tensions. Other than that, they're fine. Now, this is JP Morgan Chase. Like, this is a banker. They don't make anything from taxes. So they don't, there's no reason why they, like, again, their taxes are going to be cut. There is no reason for them to come out and oppose tariffs like it's going to hurt them in their own individual pocketbooks, unless it's going to hurt all their investments, unless it's going to allow less people to invest, less people to buy product. That's what everybody is saying. Like, every decent economist is basically saying this tariff idea is a bad idea. And I'm going to get to some of that stuff a little bit later, but Spencer Cox retweeted this morning, said, excluding gold exported to the UK for refinement, Canada and Mexico are Utah's two largest trading partners for imports and exports. Looks like we are about to find out if everything I learned in my poli-sci economics class was wrong, and if Elder Smoot deserves an apology. There we go. Trudeau decided this morning, I don't know if you guys have seen this, if this is news to you, Trump yesterday announced 25% of tariffs on Canadian and Mexican goods going into effect today. So this is the response from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
I want to speak first directly to the American people. We don't want this. We want to work with you as a friend and ally. And we don't want to see you hurt either. But your government has chosen to do this to you. As of this morning, markets are down, and inflation is set to rise dramatically all across your country. Your government has chosen to put American jobs at risk, at the thousands of workplaces that succeed because of materials from Canada or because of consumers in Canada, or both. They've chosen to raise costs for American consumers on everyday essential items like groceries and gas, on major purchases like cars and homes, and everything in between. They've chosen to harm American national security, impeding access to the abundant critical minerals, energy, building materials, and fertilizers that we have and that the United States needs to grow and prosper.
You know what sucks is that, like, so many people are so caught up in party politics and ideology that they will immediately dismiss what Trudeau's saying. Like, whatever you think about Trudeau, Trudeau's right here. This is going to increase the prices on Americans and Canadians, and Donald Trump is just choosing to do it. There's not really any good reason to do it. There's no benefit to doing this versus taxes. Nothing. Like, this is just going to hurt people. That's it. And I haven't actually figured out a reason why Trump's doing this outside of, like, trying to cover up for the fact that he's cutting taxes for billionaires. I don't even know why they're hiding it, though. Like, Republicans don't care. They don't give a shit. They've already decided it's okay if other people suffer as long as the billionaires get a tax cut and as long as they win. Their job is to show up and defend Donald Trump every single day. So nobody on MAGA, like, really cares about this, even as it hits their pocketbooks today, even as it hits their pocketbooks this weekend. When you go to the grocery store, you're going to notice. I was at I went and picked up some groceries on Thursday, And there were tomatoes. I needed tomatoes. I needed onions. I needed avocados. I'm trying to remember the other thing I bought, and peppers. And the peppers that I could get from the peppers, tomatoes, and avocados that I could get from Mexico were significantly cheaper than the ones here in America. The ones that were from America, they were more expensive. So I had to go. I obviously I bought the stuff from Mexico. It's a little bit cheaper for me. I don't give a shit. Those are going to go up now. So the grocery prices that you used to be able to take advantage of that were shipped in from Mexico, now those prices go up too. All while we're saying like make America healthy again. $12.19 for a dozen eggs for me Sunday. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even look at eggs. Last time I bought eggs, it was like $11. At some point, we've got to get Republicans to recognize like the impact it's doing to their own people, and those people need to speak up. That's, I think, for me, like what's frustrating is just like, how do we convince you guys that you're being hurt? Let's go continue with Trudeau here.
They've chosen to launch a trade war that will, first and foremost, harm American families. They've chosen to sabotage their own agenda that was supposed to usher in a new golden age for the United States. And they've chosen to undermine the incredible work we've done together to tackle the scourge that is fentanyl, a drug that must be wiped from the face of the earth. So on that point, let me be crystal clear. There is absolutely no justification or need whatsoever for these tariffs today.
None. I don't know why we're doing it. I can't, and frankly, you guys know this too. You know that MAGA hasn't told you why we're doing this. They don't know. I'm looking forward to hopefully having some debates again this week. Hopefully with Liberty or Logic and Liberty, who I think is somebody who you can have a conversation with. I do think she's somebody that doesn't want to debate. I think she wants to have a conversation, and it'll be interesting if we can have that conversation. I'd be interesting to know their thoughts on that. I'd be interested in figuring out, like, are they just cool with not having an explanation? Are they planning on just being cool with that forever? Because I wouldn't be. I wouldn't want to have to defend the same thing for 4 straight years. And that thing is, hey, nobody can afford food. That's all right. We're doing tariffs. They're paying massive amounts of money in tariffs, those other countries. I don't know. Honestly, like with Donald Trump, it legitimately could be as serious as he's wrong about what tariffs are. He doesn't even seem to know what a tariff is. And then instead of admitting that he doesn't know what it is, he's just doubling down and he's doing more tariffs. And anytime something goes bad for him, he just does tariffs. You notice that? Anytime Trump has a bad news cycle, he just like goes out and punishes people with tariffs. It's bizarre. It's like he certainly doesn't understand the impact. Everybody he tries to hurt with tariffs, it doesn't hurt them. It just hurts Americans. And at some point, you gotta hope that MAGA at some point gets tired of taking the brunt of all of Trump's temper tantrums. Sheldon Whitehouse, I thought, was really smart how he said this. He said that the president is laser focused on basically one thing. Somebody got Sheldon Whitehouse one of those little you notice this going around, like all the Democrats in Congress, they all have those little lapel mics that they hold to their mouth now. They all think they're good trouble.
Immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
What you just saw, not true. Since day one of Trump's presidency, prices are up, not down. Inflation is getting worse. Costs of groceries, housing, insurance, all going up. Tariffs are going to make it even worse. Who knew that a con man and fraudster would lie to you? Trump has done nothing to lower your costs. Instead, he's pardoned all the violent criminals who beat the Capitol Police on January 6th. And he's let Elon and his little muskrats get into your private data, healthcare
I don't like that I didn't come up with muskrats. I didn't like that when I was listening.
data, Social Security data, personal records. He's fired thousands of government employees, many veterans. He's fired more veterans than any president has ever fired. He's cut.
Give it up. Give it up. We love our troops. We love America. Donald Trump fired more veterans than any president in history. Congratulations.
Funding for cancer research, veteran services, domestic violence shelters, all to make money to give big tax breaks to billionaires. What Trump and his billionaires want more than anything else is big tax cuts for themselves, and they'll leave you to pick up the wreckage that they leave. The Republican plan is pretty simple. Families lose, billionaires win, and that is the truth.
I think that's my opinion too, but I'm not even that confident in that opinion. Like I think that it's understated how dumb Trump is. It's severely understated how dumb he is. So I could go with that theory. I could go with any other theory. But whatever the theory happens to be, if Trump is doing this, if Trump is doing tariffs to hide the fact that he's cutting taxes for his billionaire buddies, then it's a massive miscalculation on his part, because the people who put him in office literally don't care. They won't piece this together anyways. Because all Trump has to say is, yeah, that's why I'm giving them a tax cut so they can pay you more money, and to make up for the taxes that we're not going to get from them, we're going to recuperate those taxes in tariffs. That probably makes the most sense to me. But I don't think we can rule out that Trump is stupid. I don't think we can rule out that he's just doing it because he doesn't want to admit that he's wrong about what a tariff is.